Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video on my channel. I really am so happy to be back in the office, to be back in the studio, be working. And actually, crazy thing is that is actually a great feeling to be back. Although I've been traveling for like nearly 2 months, getting back and being in your environment is just really, really satisfying, and it's a great experience. You realize actually how important it is. You know how important it is to have your space, have your work environment tailored up to your needs, and be able to operate from that. So, if you guys are considering doing remote work and traveling and that, it is good, but it's great to have a base. So I'm really happy to have my base and be able to work from here and be able to perform. So the topic for today is the three things you must do if you are going to audit your Google Ads, or you're considering visiting Google Ads, and you want to audit your process. So you want to get into Google Ads, it's something that is important for your business, or you are already in Google Ads and you're concerned about the results you're getting. These are the three things you can just check in on. And these are like health indicators. Now, inspiration of this is somebody reached out to me the other day, just like, hey, can you help me? I'm kind of in Google Ads, not getting the results, don't know where to look, and I'm stuck. So I jumped on a call. It was a very brief call, like 15, 20 minutes. And next minute, I realized that, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to actually share just some my insights, and maybe this might be able to help some of you guys. So the first thing I asked them was, how are you tracking your conversions? And they're like, oh, it was a demo request, or it was a lead form submission. And two things that I asked within that question was, how do you then qualify that lead, and do you quantify the cost of that lead? Now, obviously, in Google Ads, you have CPA, you can feed, you might say, your conversion goals to Google Ads and build that into your strategy. But the reality is, a lot of lead submissions people are getting every single day are becoming more and more spammy and difficult to find good quality leads. And I've seen this in a lot of industries, in software, in software tech, in cybersecurity. I've seen it in e-commerce. I've seen it in D2C brands. This happens because the traffic on the internet and the vulnerability of PPC is very easy for people to really have malicious or nefarious on just bad intentions, and really get low quality conversions or low quality leads. So first thing is, what and how are you attributing your conversions? So where does the attribution happen, and then how are you behind that quantifying that that's on point? So make sure you've got your conversion tracking set up properly. That is, so if your conversion is, for example, a subscription to your software, make sure that you've got the right conversion tracking working, so you really know those subscriptions are happening with inside the application or an external application, and that is cross-referenced and fed back into your Google Ads or into your dashboard, your acquisition dashboard, however you're building it. Second thing, how are you gauging the intent of your ideal customer? And this sounds like kind of a crazy question, right? What's intent? What does that really mean? Well, as simple as this: if you are not breaking down into ad groups the different keywords and different search terms that your ideal customer are using, how can you then gauge the intent of where your conversions are coming from? There's nothing more powerful than knowing that a specific search term that maybe you didn't expect was going to be your cash cow, or your golden egg, actually turns out to be a really, really good result. So I really recommend you guys to use cascading ad groups. This is as simple as for example, having a search campaign, and you've got, say you want to spend $500 a day on that search campaign, and breaking down the ad groups into maybe 5 or a maximum of 10 with the different main keywords that you want to focus on. And within those ad groups, you start to measure at ad group and keyword level where your conversions are coming from and where your good CTR is coming from. Remember, if your conversion ratio is pretty consistent on your landing page, all you need to do is improve your CTR, because that means more people are going to click through, more people are going to convert, right? So I really recommend that you work on breaking down your ad groups per the intent, the searcher intent, and that is going to directly influence your conversions and how you can attribute them to the keywords. Now, last and not least is bidding strategy. Now, bidding strategy is very much interlinked with what I said at the beginning with your conversion tracking, and also interlinked with having a proper campaign structure. Now, how can you set up the right bidding strategy? Well, first, it's going to come down to your business, your industry, your business needs. I'm not going to tell you that there's one solution, one approach is going to fit your need. But across the board, I see a consistent pattern, which is people tend to go down the path of saying, hey, I only want to spend a certain amount on a max cost per click. And I don't, I'm kind of scared of going above that. And anything below that is good. Well, max CPC is really a method used for when you've got very competitive keywords and you want to get the most ROI for your most ROI from your marketing investment from your cost per click. But if you're running a business which is based on lead generation, and your lead generation is directly attributed to how many conversions you're getting for how much you've spent, technically CPA, I'd recommend that you don't put a max CPC. First, maximize your quantity of clicks. And I've spoken about this in a previous video, but set up your ads so they're at maximized clicks initially. What that's going to do is going to get a lot of data into your pipeline, a lot of data into your Google Ads, then switch back to your target CPA. And then what you're going to do is you're going to quantify in a month. Okay, I got 1,000 clicks, I got 100 conversions. That means my average CPC was X, and now my CPA is Y. And with that, you can now quickly toggle the CPA inside your campaign level and just put your budget steadily, increase your budget until you reach your target CPA. Now, once you're at target CPA, now your goal is to increase your conversions by working on optimizing the landing page and working on optimizing the copy and working on optimizing your lead capture or your sales process on the landing page. But on the other hand, you need to make sure that you're steadily decreasing your CPA over time. Now, this doesn't happen automatically. And believe me, that even bigger and larger the campaign, the more time this takes. I would say a smaller and dynamic campaign is easier to manage than a larger campaign. But if you're steadily increasing your budget and continuing your decrease in CPA, over time, your ROI will substantially increase, because what you're doing is you're spending more, but getting better results. So if you're spending, say, $10,000 a month and getting 1,000 leads, when you spend $20,000 a month, instead of getting 2,000 leads, you should be getting 2,500 leads. So proportionately, it's going to be different in each industry, but your CPA should decrease and your conversions should increase, which means technically your ROI is going to be better. So the three things I recommend, recap, are make sure your conversion tracking is completely on point and you're qualifying the leads after. So just run a sheet and start checking those leads and see where those leads, the quality, start scoring the quality. And then you start to identify where they're coming from based on the IP address and the Google Click ID. And immediately now you know what is working and what isn't. Second, if you are running like a lot of keywords and have a broader campaign, make sure you have cascading ad groups, and this is going to help you also with the next thing, which is automated bidding. Try to move away from max CPC, focus on conversions, and make sure that over time you're decreasing your conversion cost and getting more conversions from that. This is going to mean, of course, you will be increasing your budget, but you will be getting more conversions, which will lead to better ROI. So hope this weekly video was useful for you guys. As you know, I'm super passionate about Google Ads and the customer acquisition via Google Ads and SEO. And obviously proud member, proud sponsor of ClickGUARD. If you are getting bad leads, if you're getting wasteful traffic, super recommend you go check out ClickGUARD. This is going to be a really, really helpful solution. And I'm a big advocate for data-driven decisions. And I think there is nothing better in the PPC space regarding ad tech software than ClickGUARD for making those data-informed decisions. If not, you're just running your Google ads or your PPC on assumption and not on data, which is where you need to be. So I hope this was informative. And I'm trying to turn this channel more into a conversational, like open podcast where I just share my thoughts and basically use my day-to-day experiences as ideas for my content and be able to give you like valuable insights because I'm actually experiencing these things every day. And if you are into Google Ads, into SEO, and you want to chat, just send me a message. I've my website and my LinkedIn or Twitter are all in the bottom of the description, so you can always reach me there. I'm always happy to discuss and just chat with you regarding SEO and PPC, which is what I'm passionate about and I like talking about. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you next week.